Hello, this date is June 30th, and I'm doing another video, and this is in response to a tweet I received. I believe it was about a tweet I put out recently. Um, I'm trying to find work in the recovery field. I don't have a degree, but I know there are positions for people who have long-term recovery, which I have 20 years. I saw a fair amount of things in 10 years or so I was drinking, and in 20 years since, I have seen things that other people have done or have affected me. I think that would be beneficial to someone else. Unfortunately, uh, those jobs are kind of a new field where someone with the hands-on experience is going to get an opportunity to try and help someone else. And that is more like a real job, whereas I've worked in the restaurant business for close to 40 years. And restaurant business is, if you work in restaurants long enough, you see a lot of dysfunctional behavior with both personality and as well as using substances. So I've seen and done quite a bit. I don't really have a way of verbalizing that sort of thing to someone, but I've seen a lot of things. I know the way I had to go in order to get sober. You had to get tough with yourself. You don't have to carry the mountain on your back, but you have to climb it. And so, some of the positions that have been available, I haven't even really gotten a bite on them. But doesn't mean I've given up. When I quit drinking, it was something I wanted to do, and I read about grief and recovery and head injuries, and they really all kind of interrelate because they are hand in hand with the brain. The brain is affected in many ways by both receiving blows from a head injury that could cause a concussion, or emotional effect from loss of a family member or a close friend, as well as chemically changed by using drugs, be it marijuana, cocaine, um, heroin, fentanyl. There's all kinds of things out there, even meth. And then there's alcohol, which was my poison that I gave up. But my idea recently, in some of the reading I've done, I have seen some studies where treatment centers actually use dogs to work with people who are working on recovery. And from personal experience, I know that recovery can be really tough, especially if you've alienated family and you're afraid that they don't believe you can do it. And if you don't talk with family because there's been some bad blood, um, becomes hard to judge what you can tell someone. And that sort of alienation is not beneficial to the person in recovery or for the family because it doesn't allow some of the uh, gaps to heal between the person in recovery and the remainder of the family. So, one of the studies I saw with dogs is 65% of people who interacted with dogs. I believe the study was done in a treatment center, inpatient. 65%, that's very significant. And my idea is to try and become trained in developing service dogs and therapy dogs and eventually be able to have them trained so that they can be with a person who is in recovery, because it's all fine and good to have something like that going on in treatment centers, but the real need is beyond that, because once a person is released, it's always upon the person who's in recovery to maintain. But a big part of what goes on in a person in recovery is that they need support, and a dog gives unconditional love. They're dependent upon you, and it forces a person to, number one, be able to take care of another being. They're relying upon you. It also makes for that person to be able to take the dog for a walk. And in many ways, you can interact socially in a very non-threatening way when people ask you about, oh, it's a nice dog. And you can create connection that way with people without people having to know all your history, unless somewhere along the line develop friendships. Me, I'm right out there. I let people know that I am in recovery. And I think it scares some people because they think that, God, he has to tell people. He must be in pretty rough shape. And actually, the opposite is true. I know that if I put it out there, that puts onus on me to work my recovery. Because if somebody doesn't know, then I can act any which way I want. Whereas if I put it out there, people know what you see is what you get, and there's no mistaking that. But this is a short 10 minutes or so video explaining this is what I'd like to do. I'm not sure where I can go to get the sort of training I need to develop skills to be able to do this. If I have to do my own startup, it'd be great, but I definitely need training, and I want to know what I'm doing, and I want to provide some joy to some people that, hey, drugs and booze they take a lot out of you, and you have to give everything you've got once you become addicted to break that spell. So um, I just want to put that out there. To me, it's something important. Uh, I've done a lot of thinking about doing a lot of different things, and this is something that, you know, talking about doing it and trying to follow up and find a way to make it happen. You know, talk is cheap, and to make it happen made a difference for people. Whereas maybe it helps them develop a life that they could never have imagined possible for themselves. I know I've done that with my recovery, but I feel like I have to give more because there are people who I've encountered in my life who have done more for me and gotten out of their way for me because they realized that I wanted more than just be, someone who worked at a restaurant. And while in my days, uh, I got distracted at times along the way. Sometimes you put dreams on a back burner because you don't think it's possible. But I'm at the point now where I want to do this. I need to do this, and I feel like it's my way to create a legacy for myself and help some other people along the way. It's not really a legacy. It's just people are suffering. I see it, and I know there's something I can do about it. So if I find the right people to help me achieve what I want to achieve, then it allows me to provide a service to people who they may not know what they want right now, but eventually, you know, if it works for them, they can find the life that they want and change lives and make a difference for people. That's really all I want to do. I'm not looking to become a millionaire or anything like that, but I just want to change lives. There's chemistry and addiction, and if I can help people change the way they think, change the chemistry and how it's working for them, and help them find a life they can be more fulfilling for society, then I'll feel like I've accomplished something. Right now this is just an idea. I think it's a very good one. Everyone that I've approached it with feels that it is a good idea, and I just have to find a way to get trained and learn how to do it happen. So I'm just putting this out there for a select few people to let them know that this is where I'm thinking. I'm outside of this idea. I'm struggling, but I have to get this idea out there because I think it makes a difference for people. And the thing of it is you know treating these service dogs can they can be used for almost anything. People who have suffered sexual assaults, children who are victims of pedophilia, uh, young adults who have been victims of rape, you know, regardless of gender, regardless of sexual orientation, doesn't matter. There is something healing with an animal that wants nothing more than unconditional love, knowing that that person can look after them. Well, this is my video for tonight. I appreciate anyone who listens to it. And if you have any feedback for me or have a way to help me achieve what I'm trying to achieve, you know, be able to point me in direction, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.